guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, I want to show you three awesome watches. We have it here at delraywatch.com. I'll leave the links to the description of these watches below if you want to buy them. Three awesome watches that are very rarely seen and are definitely Grail worthy. Now, some of these watches are very expensive. Some of them are less expensive. However, they all offer great value. Now, the first one I'm going to start with is my personal Grail watch. And here we have a Lange Datograph in platinum. It is a 39 millimeter watch cased entirely in platinum, and it is a manual wind chronograph flyback with a big date. As you can see, very Lange with that big date, those Germanic accents. 39 millimeters, but wears quite well. Slightly on the thicker side, but you'll see why. This, in my opinion, if I can get the camera to focus, there we go, is one of the, if not the most beautiful chronograph movement ever made. You can see that column wheel right there twisting. You can see, let me see if I can get closer. This camera's awful. You can see the screw gold chatons, the hand blued screws. Everything is beveled. Everything is hand engraved. You can see that balance cock with the hand engraving. Absolutely gorgeous. And of course, flyback feature, as you can see. And then this pusher here changes the big date. Now, this was even said by Philippe Dufour, probably the greatest living watchmaker of all time, that this is the best chronograph ever made. And you know what? I think Mr. Dufour has great taste. I agree with him. As I said, it fits rather well on my 7.4 inch wrist, even though it's 39 millimeters. Comes in a Lange alligator strap and a tang buckle. This, my friends, is what dreams are made of. That movement is so three-dimensional and beautiful. I absolutely adore it. Now moving on to something a little sportier, but also not very commonly seen. We have a Vacheron 42042 overseas. This is, I believe, 2 to 3 generations old. Stainless steel, 37 millimeters. Vacheron sports watch with the screw down crown. This example is actually fully linked. It closes on my wrist with, space to spare. Wears rather well for 37. I think I can definitely pull this off. It definitely wears larger than a Datejust. I adore this case shape, the integrated bracelet, the kind of nautical scalloped bezel. This has the overseas closed case back with the ship. We've got the double bracelet clasp with the Maltese cross and those very complicated bracelet links. This one also has Vacheron Constantin service papers, and for under $10,000, under the price of a sub, you get a real piece of high horology. I just noticed I have a hole in my glove. Time for new gloves. Absolutely lovely. Also, look how thin that is. Absolutely stunning. I think this is a true high horology sports watch, which easily competes with a Nautilus or an AP. But of course, you get it for under $10,000. And last but not least, definitely the most controversial, but the least appreciated, we have the Roger Dubuis Pulsion. This watch was only made for a couple of years. It is 44 millimeters, and it is made in ADLC coated titanium. Now, as you can see, this has a one of its party tricks has an extremely thick crystal that's directly bolted on to the case. I've never actually seen that before. Has a skeletonized dial with a chronograph. But what really makes this special is very similar to the Lange is the movement. One of the most beautiful chronograph movements I've ever seen. You can see the column wheel functioning. This is a micro rotor column wheel movement. And it also features the Geneva seal, which is tucked right under there. So extremely high quality. There is no higher level, or at least there's very few higher levels of horology than this Roger Dubuis. It was sporting a retail price of about $40,000, and we have this mint example with papers for under $9,000. Now at 44 millimeters, with a deployant, as you can see here, the clasp wears rather well. Now, yes, this is from Roger Dubuis' sportier line, but this is before they went entirely insane with their full skeletonized, like Lamborghini collections. And this is extremely hard to find. This is only the second one I've ever seen in 20 years because they were only made for like 2 years. I doubt they've even made 1,000 of these watches. I doubt they've even made 250 of these watches, I'm very frank with you. But you have the screw down crown, the chronograph, skeletonized dial, that very, very thick crystal, and a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous and high-end Geneva seal micro rotor column wheel chronograph movement. And under $9,000. Very, very hard to beat, even though it is definitely not for everybody. So the Roger Dubuis, then of course the Overseas, and then the Lange. 3 dream Grail watches that you can now purchase at delraywatch.com. Link in the description below.